Hello everybody, welcome to ResinNet. So today what I'm going to be doing is working on these really cute little hairbrush mold that I got from Into Resin, okay? So I chose several different sizes and they just are so adorable. There's like this little cat and a bear, and then this larger brush style here, and then a little smaller oval here. Today we are going to be working on this one, okay? And it came with one of these for each mold, but I did see on their website that I can order just these to replace them. And what I thought I would do is I would try this 4-hour demold resin from JDiction again. Since we used it the last time on the balloon dog, which turned out super cute, but it was really hard to demold, so I feel like it wasn't really kind of a fair first try on it. So this is what it looks like in this bottle here. And I'm super excited to go ahead and try it again on this brush. And I don't know, if you have never used JDiction, you should give it a try. I use their regular resin all the time. It's really the only one I use. It's my go-to. So if you haven't tried it before, you should give it a try. This one, the quick demold, the 4-hour demold resin, you know, it is a bit thicker than just the regular resin. And so it does tend to have more bubbles, okay? So what I've decided to do is maybe consider this resin a little bit more for a colored resin, or one that I'm going to be adding some things to. Right now the bubbles are just really tiny little micro bubbles. My resin is warm today and it's been sitting about 3 minutes or so, and I still have a lot of little bubbles. I don't yet have a pressure pot, and that was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I've been wanting to get one, but then I thought, you know, if I do get one, the average resin artist out there doesn't have a pressure pot. So I don't know if it's something you would appreciate, that all of my projects would be perfect and bubbleless, or not perfect, but they would at least be bubbleless, right? Let me know your ideas on that. If you kind of like seeing the reality of what the typical resin artist is probably going to get, then I can continue the way that I'm doing it now. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go ahead. This is some Let's Resin mica powder in light purple. And I'm going to go ahead and try this just a little bit in here because I actually want my, my foil flakes. I thought these were really pretty. I want to try these in with it. So if this is too dark, then it's not going to show up. So let's see, does that stick too big? Nope. I'm going to start out with just a little bit, about like that. And I'm not going to stir it with my wooden stick because that just brings more bubbles. So look at that little bit, gave it this really pretty kind of a purple metallic, kind of a translucent color. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put any more in there than that. I'm going to stir it real well. Stir the same direction so you don't incorporate more bubbles. Sometimes that's hard to do when you're trying to make sure that you're getting all the edges. Your natural instinct is to switch directions, but you really don't want to do that. So I always put my stir stick down to the bottom of the cup while I'm stirring. And I don't see any streaks of resin in here, so I'm going to go ahead and call that good. I see some more bubbles coming up. I feel like they are just going to continue to rise here. I'm going to add a little bit of 91% alcohol to this. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of these foil flakes because I don't want to wait for all my bubbles to continue to rise and then add the foil flakes. I would rather add it all now and then let the and then let the bubbles continue to rise after I've done all my stirring. Gosh, these are going to go everywhere. Oh, not on the side. If you've never worked with foil, you will find that they are like staticky and they tend to cling to everything. So, and they do shrink down when you start stirring it. They turn into little smaller looking little, almost like glitter size. Foil is one of my favorite things to use as well when you have clear resin. It gives you a really pretty effect, but I don't want clear resin this time, so I'm going to add this in. Okay, so do you see this? Right now I feel like it does not look all that beautiful. The colors are really pretty, but it looks like it's just kind of sitting there in the cup right now. Now, another thing I do sometimes to try to fight the bubbles like this is I will go ahead and pour it into my mold, especially if it's a more shallow mold. And then you can spray your alcohol or use your torch or whatever you do to get your bubbles out. When it's a little more shallow, sometimes it's easier. So I'm going to go ahead and spray a bit of alcohol into my mold, just a bit. Just here around the sides. And I'm doing this. This is like I said before, this is a thicker resin. So I just want to make sure it's getting all around in here. And I want to prevent bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it. And we'll kind of see what happens with this. Gosh, it's so pretty. You go right over the top. And this is 4 ounces. And I think this should be just enough, with maybe even a little left over. Okay, now this mold, I kind of want it to go ahead and dome a bit, because I really don't want to have to sand the edges of it when it's done. I would like for it to be a little domed on the back. Want to be really careful not to go over. So you got to watch your sides. Watch for your doming, and then once you've got that dome, don't push it too much or else you're going to have the problems. Now I can see the bubbles in it, but you know, something like this where it's partly translucent, a little bit of bubbles might actually be kind of pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and let them rise. I've got a big one coming up there. And it is about 4:30 right now in the afternoon. And so we will come back at 8:30 and demold it and see how this is done at that point. Okay, looks great. I'm just going to probably watch it for any more little added bubbles to come up, and I'll just give it a quick spray. And then otherwise, I will see you when it's time to demold this. I'll see you then. Okay, everybody, I am back, and this is completely cured. So I came back at exactly the 4 hours, and I was going to take it out of the mold, and it actually, I could see my thumbprint in it. Okay, so now one thing that I did notice is that the bottle says that it has a 4-hour demold time, which I believe is true. I could have taken this out of the mold at 4 hours. But it has an 8 to 10 hour full cure. Okay, so I decided that this needed a little extra time, so I went ahead and let it set a few more hours just to be safe. And I'm excited to take it out of here, though. Now it is completely cured. So get it out of here. It's really cute. Let's see here. This has got a little bit of a lip here because it's got an indentation around the edge of where the little plastic brush comes in. So let's take just a little bit of alcohol in here. see if we can kind of loosen it up just a bit. See if we can get that seal broken. I see it starting to break around here. Once that's broken, then it comes out super easy. See that? Okay, and here it is. Here it is, really pretty. Turned out really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that down really well. And look at this. So it's not, you know, because we added that little bit of that light purple mica powder, we don't have a completely, it's not completely translucent, okay? It has just a little hint of purple that comes through it, but the foil has really just turned out nicely. Really pretty. So let's look and see. It looks like I had, let me see, there's nothing in the mold. So I did have a bubble right here that I didn't notice before. You see this here? Right here. Just kind of a bummer. It was kind of a big bubble. I don't know how I didn't see it, but I didn't. So I think that it's going to be okay. We're going to be able to get this in anyway. It shouldn't affect the hairbrush at all. So let's get this in here. And I have to manipulate it around a little bit. Get it in. Go. These fit in here just right. So you just kind of have to maneuver it around a little bit just to get it in exactly the way that it's meant to be. Shouldn't be bunched up anywhere. So we can get that in there like that. There we go. Kind of push this down a little. There we go. Oh my gosh, so it's all done. And you see how cute this is? Really cute. It's a nice thick handle. This JDiction resin, one reason why I switched to the resin I was using before this is because this does tend to cure really hard, okay? It's not bendy, floppy like some resins I've used in the past. And I think this is just adorable. You could get really creative with this and do the little ears a different color if you wanted to. And yeah, all different kinds of possibilities with this little brush. But I think it turned out really pretty. Let me know what you think. I'm excited to try some of the other ones as well. And yeah, hope you had fun with this. This came, again, these molds came from Into Resin. If you want a link, I can post a link for that for you in the description. And anyway, I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you all next time.